So, what is impact analysis? It's basically identifying and characterizing the impact of any business function and supporting system involved in a business function that's critical to your organization. Now, some of the documents that cover impact analysis in more depth are actually kind of split across the federal space. One of them, NIST 830, is specifically tailored to risk management, and the other one, NIST 861, is specifically tailored to incident management. Impact analysis occurs both before and after incidents are discovered, so it has feet both in risk management and in the carrying out of incident management. So impact analysis and risk management, as we said before, NIST 830 spells out part of why impact analysis involves such a heavy preparation phase. So in risk management, part of what you look for in determining risk is both likelihood of an incident, of a particular incident that is occurring on a particular organizational function, as well as its impact. So you look for likelihood times impact equals risk. So part of the preparation in determining what risk your organization is dealing with is conducting an preparatory impact analysis assessment. This is the first step in impact analysis, the preparation to conduct the impact analysis. Second is the actual conduction of impact analysis itself. This happens when incidents are taking place or when impact is occurring on your organization. After you measure that potential impact, the next step is measuring the impact of individual incidents or groups of incidents as they're occurring or after they've occurred. So NIST 861 specifically references this. Prioritizing the handling of the incident is perhaps the most important critical decision point in the incident handling process. The impact analysis section of incident handling basically lets you triage incidents in a way that brings it up in sophistication from simply being a first in, first out way of handling incidents. You want to handle incidents in the order in which they are most impactful to your organization. Like whatever your critical functions are and whatever is impacting them, you want to handle those incidents first. So we kind of gave a little intro to this, but now we're going to talk a little bit more about how to prepare to conduct impact analysis on your organization and its organizational functions. So how do you determine impact? First, you need to know the potential impact of failure or degradation to your constituents, assets, or lines of business. So this can include anything from an organizational function's degradation or its complete failure. You have to understand an organization's baseline functionality to perform good impact analyses of other situations. So if your organization doesn't really understand its function or what it does, you won't really have a good understanding of how an incident is impacting your organization. When should your organization conduct an impact analysis? Ideally, this happens before an incident actually starts. You start the preparation phase and start cataloging your functions and looking at what impacts could potentially work against them. So the more you know about your functions, your assets, the quicker your CSIRT can conduct impact analysis once these do occur. It is really critical to take that inventory beforehand so that your incident analysis process isn't just overwhelmed with trying to figure out what the impact is to your organization during an incident when, frankly, resources are more scarce than they are during downtime. Planning is valuable, but incidents will occur that require you to alter existing plans or create new plans. Consider some things. When your CSIRT encounters a situation for which you have no plan, how do you respond? It's the idea of planning for not having a plan. Do you have ideas for how to build plans on the fly? During your preparation phase, do you have you need to make lists of notification requirements? Do you have a way to alter those requirements on the fly? Can you easily, like this may sound trivial, but with the way your information is set up, can you easily bring two contact lists together in order to notify a constituent about impact of an incident? And can you get in touch with your constituent quickly to determine a course of action? Part of the preparation phase might be planning for a potential impact to a function and putting a contact list together for each individual function and making sure that those lists exist in the same spot and are accessible to everybody on your incident management team or any other constituent that might have a need to have access to it. Finally, a plan, like we said before, for not having a plan. Plan to be able to document things on the fly, to determine impact on the fly. Really take the time to learn how your organization works and learn how your impact preparation worked so that when you need to do it quickly, you can. Some considerations. For each process, ask these. What dependencies exist for services and functions? When you're conducting impact analysis, you might be looking at a particular organizational function and ignoring dependencies that exist below it that will, if impacted themselves, degrade the performance of that particular organization function. It's important to have an idea of what dependencies exist in your organization, have it mapped out and ready as part of your plan. In addition to having a dependency chart, you need to understand, assuming a function is impacted, how long can your constituents deal without that particular function? So part of impact analysis is not only determining how it will impact your constituents, but how long you can do without something. If a process is particularly critical, it may be important no matter what to keep it online in even a degraded fashion. If it's not particularly important, or if it's more important to get it back to a full functionality, it may be best to bring a process offline, and you need to have a record on hand about how long a particular constituent can deal with an incident while their process is offline. So some considerations. A lot of healthcare providers, for instance, have processes that, if taken offline, are life-threatening. So how do you deal with impact to systems that, if taken offline, might actually pose a threat or pose a physical harm to your employees or to your constituents? And finally, does your organization have a legal requirement to function at a certain level? Certain places are legally mandated to meet a certain level of service. You always have to be able to provide information to constituents in some areas. So maintaining that minimum level of service might be your absolute top-line requirement. So how do you maintain even a degraded form of service no matter what when you're dealing with an incident?